You have found what lights you up. I'm your host, Sunny the Life Coach, and I'm here because I see you searching for something or someone out there to help you feel better. Something to take away the pain that you're feeling, the inadequacies. I know all of the things that happen in life can leave you feeling empty. Your search is over. This podcast is all about finding your own freedom and power to love yourself enough to shine in the ways you were always meant to, the ways in which you are already fully capable of. If you're ready for some real talk, some serious truth bombs, and a few F-bombs, you are in the right place. Let's do this. Let's get lit. Hey there, welcome. I hope you are ready for an injection of energy today because I am navigating a serious transformation myself at this time. Buckle up. This is going to be fun. I am just having fun today. I've decided that's where I want to be all the time. Of course, that's not possible, but I'm going to prioritize it every day. I'm doing it. I am flying high. I am reaching for that joy that can be found really in the simplest of moments if you are carrying an awareness of it. I'm even having fun with myself. Earlier this morning, I was straightening up my office. There were little stacks of paper piled around. Some of it was mail that needed to be shredded. Then I saw shredders full. And that reminded me immediately of Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation. Shitter's full. I cracked myself up. That's what I did. I cracked myself up. And that's really the idea. Honestly, crack yourself up, damn it. Have a good time with this life. I have heard this many times over the years. Make life fun. Make work fun. And I tried. I just wasn't able to fully embody that concept without absorbing the energy of others who were definitely doing that. I spent the weekend on a 2-day retreat for coaches and healers. It was a small group setting out in a community that values nature and wellness and has all kinds of activities to support that, like horseback riding, goat yoga, had regular yoga too. I did go to the studio myself. Juice bars. The restaurants serve organic produce that is grown on the grounds. There are sheep just wandering in the open. There's even a massive labyrinth in the woods. More on that later. You get the idea around the place that I visited. Now, the people that I was with, high fucking energy. It was a smaller group, maybe 20 total. And most were coaches with bonus backgrounds like yoga, massage therapists, Reiki masters, and witches. In other words, there was a lot of magic in that room. And we didn't spend all of our time in the room. Hell, day 2 ended up being a 14-hour day for me, but I probably only spent 2 or 3 of those hours in the room. The rest of the time we were running around the property, getting professional photos taken, sharing stories, laughing our asses off. I've never had so many belly laughs in such a short time span. It felt so wonderful. Even while it was all happening, I thought, these are my people. I've been looking for them for years. Just that eclectic mix of wonderful, amazing people. Now, here they are all in one place. And whoo, the power of connection. When all of the puzzle pieces just fit together. When no one judges you. When everyone embraces you, and also when they don't even react when you have a little tantrum. I want to really highlight that part for you today because it was so subtle in the moment, yet the more I replay it, because that's what we do, we like to replay our scenes, right? the more I acknowledge how huge it really is. Let me tell you about the labyrinth. If you aren't sure what one is, here is a brief explanation from labyrinthsociety.org. A labyrinth is a meandering path, often unicursal, with a singular path leading to a center. Labyrinths are an ancient archetype dating back 4,000 years or more, used symbolically as a walking meditation, choreographed dance, or site of rituals and ceremony, among other things. Labyrinths are tools for personal, psychological, and spiritual transformation, also thought to enhance right brain activity. Labyrinths evoke metaphor, sacred geometry, spiritual pilgrimage, religious practice, mindfulness, environmental art, and community building. That, if you are not aware of what a labyrinth is a bit of a heady definition, but a lot of it makes sense. Now, speaking as if I'm explaining it to a third grader, it is a circle. It is a circular formation and usually using rocks, but it can really be anything. And it isn't exactly a maze, but it is a winding, so you are walking in a circle, and it's really wild. It isn't a maze, but it's not just a straight, I don't want to say straight circle, but it weaves in and out, so it almost kind of takes on some properties of a maze, but there are no blocks. You're just following the path. The walking meditation part is what I truly wanted to experience, and I haven't been able to locate one near me. Now, my father is a labyrinth junkie, and he seems to find them everywhere, but he also lives on the West Coast and often travels in the Southwest area. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's a more regional, maybe there are more of them regional, but maybe he's also traveling a whole heck of a lot. That's what he likes to do. Anyway, I knew the grounds were going to have a labyrinth, and I kind of latched onto that notion in my mind that I was going to see it. It was going to be amazing. I was going to have the full experience and take lots of pictures. You know, I had written the script for how the movie was going to play out, as humans do. Well, this property is like 40 acres, and the unit where I was staying was a mile or two beyond that. So most visitors who don't drive there or haven't rented a car will rent a golf cart from the inn to get them around. And I don't mind the hike, but I'm on a bit of a schedule. Day one, at lunch break, I tried to find it, but I didn't have a map yet because I hadn't checked in yet, so I just wandered aimlessly, hoping there were signs. Nope. There were signs, lots of signs, like directional signs, go this way for that and that way for this, just not for what I was seeking. So my lunch attempt was a bust. And I should probably admit to you that I was a little frustrated by that. I had kind of hoped I would be able to find it easily over lunch. I did check in later, and I got the map, but they were fresh out of golf carts. So not only did I not know where it was, but I couldn't really get there. All I knew was that it was somewhere in the woods. Now, when we wrapped class up for the day, I was going to need a ride to my loft from one of my new friends. Yes, I can walk 2 miles, but over hills, through dirt and gravel road, and carrying my suitcases, not so much. As we were all deciding who is catching a ride with who, where everyone is staying, how much time we have to get settled before meeting up for dinner, I just kept interjecting that I really need to see the labyrinth. Who else wants to? And can we get a match of you are going my direction and we can swing by the labyrinth first? Can we make that happen? Well, no one was responding to that second part. I mean, I was getting opportunities for rides, but no one was really catching on to the want to swing by the labyrinth part. And then someone said, "Oh, you'll see it tomorrow when we do pictures there." And that is when my inner toddler came out. And I pounded my fist on the table and said, "Damn it, it is the most important thing to me of this entire trip." I didn't want to see it for the first time with everyone else. I wanted to experience the magic that I knew I was going to find there. I knew it in my soul. Then we can come back and take pictures. Like, let me have my moment first, right? I was only mildly surprised at my outburst because, as I said, I was already feeling a little frustration earlier. And here's why. I felt safe in that room to express myself in whatever way that I needed to, and that is huge. I had spent the day with these women, and of course many of them I had already met on Zoom months ago. I'd spent the day being in their presence. I was feeding off of their energy, and I knew I was safe. Plus, that is one of the rules. One of the rules is no one invalidates anyone else's experience. In other words, whatever emotion flows out of you is not to be invalidated in any way. Allow it, right? And here's what really blows me away. No one reacted to my fist pounding and my raised voice and all of that. No one reacted. They acknowledged that they saw and heard me with a glance or a nod, and then they just kept talking amongst themselves. But no one said anything to me or about me for what seemed like forever, but was probably only 20 seconds. And even then, it wasn't to me. It was just a, "By the way, who's taking Sunny to the labyrinth?" And that was that. And I went. And it was just me and Monique the very first time I got to see it. She gave me a ride and she walked with me. It was everything. We did a walking meditation through part of it because it is quite large. And we shared our backgrounds and got to know each other for about 15 or 20 minutes. And then off we went to get ready for dinner. And that's all I needed. Just a taste. On my last day there, I even went back earlier in the morning by myself. That was only a half-mile walk from my apartment. I wasn't carrying bags, so that was no big deal. And I got such a charge out of slowly and mindfully weaving through it. My father often walks labyrinths to honor family or close friends, living and dead. I used it to clear my energy. Keep in mind, I've never done this before, but wow, was it powerful. You can't mess this up. You do whatever you want to do. The path just winds around and around, and you get close to the center, and then you're back on the outer edge, wondering how you got there. It's so wild. But there's only one way in and one way out. So what I did was I walked the path to the center with focus on releasing all of the negative energy that I had been carrying. Resentment toward others was definitely on the list, and I had a very few specific people in mind, so I said their names. As I shook my arms or moved them away from my body, "You can go now. You can go." Then I meditated in the center for a few minutes and just listened to the birdsong. And as I walked out, I retraced my steps and welcomed all of the positive vibes, high energy, and feel-good experiences that were coming my way. I was certain of it. I am now open to receive because I am expanded. I have created space by releasing what no longer serves me. I cannot even describe how changed I feel after having done that exercise. And you can do it too. You don't need a labyrinth to do it. Take a walk in a forest. Find a clearing. Go to the park. No one needs to know what you're doing, and it makes no difference what they think. It's a matter of three things here, I believe, to tie it all into your experiences, your relationships, your expectations of yourself and others, to get to the essence of who you really are. Because when you find that, your whole life improves. All right, let's do 3 things. I'm going to start with trust because it was such a huge impact for me in that room to throw a little fit and get no reaction. That speaks to the grounded and loving energy of the other humans I was with. When people have done their work and they have walked their talk, you know it because they do things like this, which most of us don't tend to encounter in our daily lives. But even before that could happen, I had to trust myself. I had been on the fence for well over 6 months just thinking about working with this group because I have been burned in the past. And I was still carrying some resentment over it, which has been released to the labyrinth. This is what we do. We replay negative experiences of the past and we try everything we can to avoid them ever happening again. So we hide, we stay small, we might lash out, try to numb the pain through substance or distraction. Instead of facing it, we often fall into victim mode. And that's honestly not a helpful place to be. It takes you further away from growth and expansion. I have known this, but it was only through my labyrinth experience that I was able to make a connection deep within myself and put some action to it. And I do mean I released them. I named a few names specifically. That doesn't mean that I will have nothing to do with those people anymore. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. What it means is that they will no longer be living rent-free in my head. And they were really only in a tiny studio apartment, but they were still hanging around. No more, not even a little bit. That chapter is finished. It is over. Time to write a new one. I've already mentioned our tendency to script out the movie of our lives in our minds, and then when it doesn't play out exactly the way that we had envisioned, we are disappointed. And often other people are involved in that, so we assign our disappointment to them. We project it onto them and make it their fault. It's just what we do. It's how we have been conditioned. Undoing a lifetime of conditioning can take some time. It has certainly taken me some time. Secondly, we need to learn to trade our expectations of others by allowing them to be who they are and to come to their own realizations, to their own knowing in their own time. If they ever do at all. Sometimes they don't. But these things can't be forced and they can't be fast-tracked. We are all unique individuals, every single one of us. Side note, I've always found it so entertaining that the term snowflake has been used as an insult over the past several years. If I'm ever called a snowflake, I own it proudly because we all are. No two humans are alike, just as no two snowflakes are alike. If someone believes I'm a snowflake, fantastic. I certainly am. You will learn so much about yourself when you do this work, and the value is immeasurable. When you get that hit that no one outside of you can help you feel better, that the power and control is within you, that is transformative and it is exhilarating. When you come to this awareness, that's going to carry over into all of your relationships, even the most difficult ones. You will find yourself unbothered. You will be unfuckwithable. I was fascinated with myself over my outburst because earlier that same day, I had shared with the group that my sister's travel plans were still unknown. She was going to meet me there for a little one-on-one time after the retreat ended. And she ran into some challenges that had me acknowledging there was a real possibility that she wouldn't make it at all. And I was okay either way. It was going to be a wonderful experience either way. I was going to allow it to unfold exactly as it was meant to. And that was a peaceful, easy feeling. Cue the Eagles. Hours later, I'm pounding fists and throwing a toddler tantrum. I forgot in that moment just in that moment, to trust and allow. All I had to do was sit back and trust that I would find my way there and allow that way to appear. Yes, I reverted back to the old version of me for just a moment, and that's okay. It happens. This is a journey because this is your life. The path isn't always straight, and the time it takes is not always linear or perfectly planned out. That's what we have to let go of when we allow things to be just as they are and be present and grounded in who you really are. Release your worries of the future. Your soul knows how to do this. Connect to it. The women in that room knew that I would find myself again, and there was no need to intervene. That's not how it works in the real world, though. Not in our daily lives. Go ahead and pull something like that at your workplace or your family holiday gathering or a similar setting, and you'll find some judgment. I might have been there, done that a few times. People will talk about you. They might label you. They might even try to comfort you. They will react to you because that's what they have been taught to do, and it's become instinctual. Allow them to do that. Learn to be okay with it. If you slip for a moment, you will survive, I promise. Finally, you can embrace the new version of yourself, which is what I am personally up to these days. I uncovered a part of me that has been deeply hidden for protection. She was just ready to spring to the surface, and the weekend retreat was the right amount of high vibrational energy that she needed to wake up and say, "Hello, world. I am here. I am lit up, and I am ready for you." That really isn't going to be that hard to do, though. It's going to feel quite natural and easy to fall into. It might also be easy to fall into old habits, though. So hold your awareness that you are not the same person. I love doing this for others, though. The embracing part, after I have allowed them to be who they are, embracing who they are just really seals that greatness in. My sister did arrive, albeit later than we had planned, and we had a magical 25 hours together. Of course, I embraced her physically, a lot, but also within myself. I embraced her long before she arrived, and through a little bit of a wild ride over plans changing, or maybe shifting is a better word. It might have been a wild ride on her end. There were subtle shifts on my end. The plan eventually unfolded, just not exactly as written in my imaginary script. It was still everything that it needed to be and more. It was as it was meant to be. I appreciate her, and I send her gratitude for being exactly who she is, for being a part of my life, and for showing me even more about myself. Simply priceless. Virtual embraces work. This might take a little longer with your more challenging relationships, but as long as you are headed in that direction on your path, you will get there. Remember, every person that you encounter in this life is your teacher. Every single one. Trust that everything will unfold exactly as it is meant to. Allow it to unfold exactly as it will, always remembering that it may not be exactly as you had envisioned. Embrace your true self. Honor where others in your life may be on their journey, and get ready to be seen by the world. It all comes back to love, just as it always does. As Rumi says, you think you are alive because you breathe air? Shame on you that you are alive in such a limited way. Don't be without love, so you won't feel dead. Die in love and stay alive forever. Yes. You know, none of us have any idea when we are going to graduate from Earth School. We have been taught by the humans, and especially by religion, that we should be striving for a greater reward in the afterlife. But what if the reward is here? Die in love and stay alive forever. Be love, and you will die in love. Yes, I feel so full of love after my retreat experience. I have had goosebumps through most of the time I've been talking. I am so charged. Was it exactly as I thought it would be? Not at all. It was even better. Now, do I feel injected with high vibe energy because of my surroundings and the people I was with? I think that played a part in cracking open that last layer that fully embodied Sunny was under. Did I feel connected in ways that I haven't ever experienced? Oh, I do. Actually, that's not past tense. I do. Was that all them, or is it me? I definitely had some influence, but it was me. Just like it was me when my past self would get frustrated that plans didn't come together exactly as I had envisioned. Allowing everything to play out as it did really helped me to open up and see deeply, to feel deeply, to experience all of the things. There were some tears, but there was hella laughter, and it was just the best. It reminded me that's how I'm supposed to be living every single day. The greatest gift you can give to yourself is that of transformation. This is my work, but it doesn't feel like work. It feels like owning my power. If you would like a taste of that, I am currently accepting new clients for one-on-one coaching. Check the link in show notes to schedule a conversation with me. If you'd like to go deeper on this topic, check out my YouTube channel and subscribe so that you can get some extra light. Currently available each Friday. Thank you for allowing me to share some of my magic with you today. Light up, shine on.